Hello everyone. Last time we discussed about the sixth pillar out of eight pillars of prosperity, and that was sincerity. And today we're going to discuss about the seventh pillar, impartiality. So, what does impartiality mean? Impartiality is the ability of a person to think about a certain aspect of a topic without any sort of prejudice. To acquire impartiality, one must lose his egoism. He must stay away from his egotism. He should stop thinking about uh, if he's the greatest person in the world or he is better than certain people. And egotism is really something that prevents a person from seeing a different uh, point of view other than himself. Because you rarely meet a person who tries to see from both or more angles regarding uh, regarding a subject. A partisan, a person uh, who doesn't see from both sides, he doesn't search for the truth because he's already convinced that his idea of truth is is the real thing. He doesn't think that what if my idea or my knowledge of this subject is false. He's completely prejudiced that he is better and what he thinks is the truth and is the reality. There's a quote that says, "A man is not a thinker who is bound by prejudice." Of course, so a man he cannot be called a thinker if he is also prejudiced because there might be multiple aspects regarding a subject, and being prejudiced and thinking that your path is the only correct path is very false. Sometimes your path might be the shortest path, but it doesn't mean it might be the only correct path. So let's talk about the four elements of impartiality. The very first is justice. Justice means giving and taking and giving and receiving in equal value. You remember how for an honest person uh, doesn't try to scam a person. This is the same thing. A man with a good sense of justice never tries to pay a person less than what the product or service is worth, nor does he allow the person to ask more from him than what the service is worth. He doesn't let what will pay, the price come before what is right, the correct thing. Hence, hence the element named justice. Next is we have patience. Patience is a sort of unswerving confidence and considerateness. A man needs to be patient so that he reaches his destination, destination. Patience, in a way, is sort of really rare, and it actually enriches your heart and it beautifies your mind. Really, a man who is patient is usually a bit calm, and because he usually being patient allows him to think more groundedly. He's more grounded and he takes a more grounded approach to the subject, which uh, compared to being not being patient and trying to get things done quickly, but in an uh, but with bad quality in an imperfect way. uh, the final product and the final destination is also imperfect and not of good quality. It's bad. It's not what you would expect it to be because you didn't put enough work into it. Why? Because you weren't patient enough to take a grounded approach, which takes a bit more time than an imperfect approach. Next up, we have calmness. Now, this calmness is what leads to patience. A calm man has can has enough has the thought process to be patient. A calm man puts enough thought that, okay, if I spend more time on this subject to take a more grounded approach, the final product will be more perfect than doing it in a haphazard way. And a calm and impartial man is one of the most happiest people on the planet. Why? Because he's calm and he always tries to look at each and every aspect towards a subject, and he looks into whether the aspect is correct or not. He aspect is suitable for him or not. He doesn't decide if it's correct or not, because then it's prejudice. Of course, it should be good paths, it shouldn't be an evil path, but he doesn't decide if one path is correct and one path is wrong. He decides what is suitable for him, not what is correct. And next up, there's wisdom. Wisdom is something that can be gained through experience and experience alone. A man can be wise, but at the same time, it can only be in theory. Only through experience can a man gain true wisdom. A wise man always adapts himself to others and acts in their good, and he never violates them. He never looks down on the other person. Like I said, an impartial man, a person who looks from both sides without looking down on the other end of the spectrum. He never violates the other's moral virtues. On the other hand, a foolish person never adapts himself, and he only acts selfishly. He only acts for his own content, his own happiness, and inevitably it will only lead to the foolish man's downfall. Because acting selfishly for countless number of times, at the end of the day, he ends up alone, and at the end of the day, nobody trusts him. And so, this is the seventh pillar, impartiality. This is extremely important for everyone since there's no single path that everyone has to take. There are various paths to get to the same destination, and being impartial really broadens a person's perspective. Thank you. And next time we're going to talk about the last pillar out of the eight, self-reliance. Thank you.